Gary Goldman. I'm a host of the 5-Star Food Show. And actually today is the premiere edition of the 5-Star Food Show. We're so excited to have everybody here, and what a fabulous guest we have today. And Dave Becker, who actually owns 2 restaurants, Sweet Basil and Juniper, and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. Dave,
Hey,
welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us, how did you get started in the business? I see I was looking on your website, you started out as a dishwasher when you were like 11 years old in Newburyport. How did you go from dishwasher to owner of 2 restaurants?
Oh, that's easy. You just like attrition. You wait for everyone to get fired. This is your boss.
And it eventually happens.
Yep. Sooner or later, your boss doesn't want to be your boss anymore. And then you're the boss. Yeah, I loved it right off the bat. It was kind of like, you know, I had friends that had a part-time job at a restaurant, and it was kind of like reverse peer pressure. Like as soon as the other dads got together and had a chance to figure out that like it was a good move to, you know, your kid isn't bugging you for an allowance and you know where they are, and it's like, wait, that's not a bad thing. And then I loved it, you know, drink all the free soda.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like we were talking about before, Sweet Basil has really been expanding in Needham. I remember when I think you bought it from somebody else. There were only like 4 or 5 tables, and then you expanded that, and like now the restaurant is booming. And Juniper, that you recently opened about 2 or 3 years ago in Wellesley, also is doing extremely well. And unique to the table is something that Sweet Basil is more Italian fare, which you've had background in cooking in previously. You did some work, I guess, over in Italy previously, or you worked at Davio's, whatever the case may be. But then you opened up an entirely different type of concept in Juniper, which is more Mediterranean style. Why did you go about doing that, and how successful has it been?
It's been good. I think it was it's the last few years it's been a trend, and I was actually just talking to someone earlier today where it's like, you know, poke is a trend now. It's like there's always some new idea that's you know, coming along, and as long as you don't like really get caught on the bandwagon and you just adapt your own style to it. You know, we'll have our ups and downs obviously, and it's like, you know, as long as you're, you know, getting closer to the end zone, you know, it's like just try to get better all the time while everything else around you is getting worse.
Yeah. How do you like figure out which type of dishes to select? Like in Sweet Basil, for example, you know, your traditional bolognese and some of the marsala dishes and a lot of the pasta dishes obviously are winners. But how do you like select the other ones that are going to accompany it?
A couple ways. We'll run specials. You know, do it a couple of nights and see how, you know, for one, how it sells, and then also how it's. You know, if people come back like a week later asking for it, then you know it's a winner. And then we'll also let the staff try it out and let them be frank, so it's like they're not afraid to be honest with their critique. And then, you know, and then sooner or later you kind of whittle it down, and there'll be dogs that pop up and you really want to get rid of those quickly, you know, and then every now and then you need something on there like, you know, chicken liver mousse, or that's, you know, kind of polarizing. People don't always love it, but then the people that do really do, and then, you know, it's kind of like that could win over a whole table if the one most opinionated person at the table goes for something like that, you know. But then you might only sell like 3 a day.
Right.
But
Dave, you have a real presence in all your restaurants. Your strong personalities there. You're intermingling with the customers. And you do a lot of special stuff within the community. You do cooking classes for the towns where you bring people on and you handcraft, you know, the dishware or whatever that you're using in the place. How do you like decide as far as how to allocate your time and how to be involved in the business? Do you try to attach yourself to the community? What do you try to do? What's your approach to business?
I mean, I'd say that, you know, starting with just triage, there's always some squeaky wheel or some there's something broken, you know, you just need to be there to fix things. And then you know, and all in all, I'm like, you know, looking for a good time most of the time, so it's like it's like motivated by like, you know, having as few people angry at me as possible, and then, you know, start from there, and then go, you know, and then you eventually have as many people happy as you can have. And I'd say, like, you know, having a little restaurant in a small community where it's like everyone knows each other, you know, it's kind of, I'd say it's always better to contribute more than what you do.